Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Can I Be Honest? I have my amazing guest, Tammy. Tammy, welcome to Can I Be Honest?
What
Can
up,
you,
what up, what up?
can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm your too honest BFF on TikTok, which is great because now I'm on the Honest Podcast. So let's go there. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a psychic. I live in Arizona, originally from North Carolina. I
Yeah.
do get visions, and I've been on TikTok for a while, but only doing tarot on TikTok since August of last year. So it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year, and I've had 100% accuracy.
So I have to share, you guys. I found Tammy not only through TikTok, but also because one of my best friends sent me your video and she was like, she is speaking to us. Like, you need to follow her. I really like her vibe. And you know what it is, Tammy? Like, you're just so genuine. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just so honest. And I think that's the part that's really hard right now with social media is that everything is so curated.
Well, a content creator, everyone becomes an image. They become a
Yeah.
brand, and then they just sell that brand because it works and it goes viral. And I got on there and said, "Fuck a brand. Whoever likes me likes me. Let's
Yeah.
kick this shit off." You know what I mean? And I've just stood on business. I've stood on business with my predictions, and I've stood on business with myself. I'm a very loving person. I am for humanity. I give. I mean, I had someone comment the other day that I know from back home, and they were like, and this is someone I've known for over a decade, and they were like, from the very second I met you, you've always been the person that even when you had nothing, because they knew me when I was poor, poor,
Yeah.
even when you had nothing, you split it or gave what you had, and you've never changed. And I realized at 40, I never will. That's always going to be me. If I got it and you need help, I'm going to give it.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, the universe always sends it back to me. That's why I don't give out loans. People are
Yeah.
like, what do you mean you don't give out loans? You give money people all the time. Yeah. But I don't expect to be paid back. I'm going to get blessed by the universe and my own good doings either way. But to give a loan is to put something over someone's head. If I got it to give and they need it, I'm going to give it. If they can pay it back, awesome. If they can't, I hope they pay it forward to someone else. It's really that simple. And I tell everybody all the time, don't ever give out money you can't afford to give out.
Yes.
Okay, so if
Yes.
you got an extra $500 and someone needs five, give the five. But if you got five, if someone needs $500, all you got is $500, and you need that to pay your rent, pay your fucking rent. Do not give money you don't have to give because life can kick someone while they're down and they might not be able to pay you. And
Yeah.
now you've ruined a soul connection over money, which does not exist anywhere but in humanity. So
Yeah.
let's start there.
No, no. And but that's what I'm talking about. That's what I felt when I first started to watch your videos on TikTok. I was like, man, this chick is just real. She's just honest and like one like-minded. I was like, oh, she thinks just like me. Like, I like this. Like, I immediately follow. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, thank you so much. But okay, let's talk about these predictions that you have nailed. The Super Bowl when
Oh
nobody.
yeah, that the Super Bowl prediction, which is weird. The Trump predictions, everything that was going to happen, none of that popped off. I got good views, but nothing popped off.
Yeah.
And I had even told, because me and Allie, my best friend, started this together. I had told her in November because she had lost her job. I said, stick with me and spend as much time with your family over the holidays as you can because come February, I don't know what happens in February, but come February, shit gonna kick off and it ain't never gonna slow down. We're gonna be in hustle mode. And she had faith in me. We've been friends since we were 7. She had faith in me. And February came around and everyone was asking, oh, predict the Super Bowl, predict the Super Bowl. I was like, I've never predicted a sporting event, but okay.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I got that the Eagles were going to win. And then someone was like, no, and like people were coming for me over this prediction. They were mad as fuck, okay? I had Chiefs fans in there riding my fucking ass. And I'm like, okay, well, let me do a second one then. And so I did a second one, and like literally, Eagles in the card on fire, like was coming out. And so I was like, okay, so I'm standing 10 toes down. It's going to be the fucking Eagles. And then I predicted the halftime show. I said, Kendrick Lamar gonna come out there and he gonna make a political statement. He gonna do something, a justice statement. It's gonna
Right.
be big. It's gonna
That's
be
right.
in your face. Like this isn't gonna be just a Drake thing. This isn't like he's going to make a statement about America. Like it's gonna be a justice moment. And that halftime show started with Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam. And I looked at my husband and I said, we're sitting there watching the Super Bowl, and I'm just like this. And every time they were scoring and winning, I was like, "This is not fucking happening, yo.
Oh
This is you
my
see this shit." And so they won, and I'm just like sitting there, like,
God.
and my husband's like, and like, I'm excited as fuck because I got it right, but it was like to the T.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning, my sessions booked out
Wow.
weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Etsy blew up. And it never fucking stopped. So now I'm 1 to 2 months booked out at a time, and it's been like that since the Super Bowl. So
Can I
yes,
share?
that Super Bowl was on point.
That Super Bowl was not, and also not only just on point, but that Super Bowl prediction was very, very much against the odds. Vegas had the Chiefs winning by like a
I
ridiculous,
know.
right?
I actually won a lot of people that listened to me on that have been following me for a while. They won some fucking money, baby. They were like, "I'm so glad I listened to you." But then after that, people started rolling in like, "Do this game, do this game." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not a sports reader. I did that for fun. It
Yeah,
was fun."
yeah,
But I think the only reason that worked in accuracy in my favor is it was symbolic.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was a symbolic game. It
It
was
was.
the Chiefs, president in chief,
Yeah,
against the Eagles, the freedom of America.
yeah.
And then you had the black man and people of color that have fought for justice for so long
Yep.
and made a public statement. So the whole game itself was the catalyst of what was coming. And Kendrick Lamar wasn't wrong. The revolution is about to be televised, and it is
And
because
it
we're
is.
watching the revolution be televised as we speak.
You're right. You're right.
And so, yeah, that one, I have to say, that's been my favorite one. That's
Yeah.
been my favorite prediction, yeah. Because it was so fun. It was just, it was fun and it was meaningful. And of course, it kicked everything off. But like, when they won, it wasn't just a feeling of, oh, I was right and they won. It was my cards, my 4 year reading, everything that I know. This is a message. We win against all odds,
Mm,
even when they're against us, even when someone's predicting the other side to maintain control of the win.
yeah,
We win. So for me, that prediction went 100-fold spiritually because I got the message.
yeah,
I got the message. So no matter what, I know at the end of this, we win. It's just going to be a hell of a fight.
yeah.
Yep.
And and I think that's the beauty of like what I've been watching from your page is that even so random guys. So I was very lucky, Tammy, because the moment when because you're right, you are booked out like 2 months in advance. So when my girlfriend had told me, I was like, oh, I'm totally gonna jump and get a reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went in and I was so blessed because I think somebody canceled right when I went in because that was
And
the
you grabbed it up.
only time open. Because
Yep.
I remember trying to look at like another date and I was like, oh no, that week's out, that week's out, that week's out. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing like 11 o'clock on the Tuesday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it. And you guys, Tammy, it's so wild because I'm so huge on my spirituality, but also when I meet the right people and I connect with the right people. And Tammy, when you and I jumped on my reading, like you were not only were you very much on point on just like where I was, and just even I think the healing that I still had to work on, right? Because I'm always going to be a work in progress, like forever, right?
We all are. That's
Forever.
the purpose. We're here to have experiences. So we can't ever step away from the journey of that. So
Yeah.
we're always going to be a work in progress. We're always going to be learning. We're always going to be bettering ourselves in some way through experiences. So no, that's not a process that ever goes away.
And I think so many people think it's just like it's a destination. You get there and then you're done. You check the
Journey, baby.
no.
The destination is nothing but a resting point.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yes. And then you reevaluate and you decide, okay, what other levels do I want to unlock and become better? And Now I've
Or
survived.
go a different direction. I think this is why forcing kids at 18 or 19 to make a life decision on what they want to do for the rest of their life is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I
Um,
don't even know what I want to do.
because I have changed my career several times. I mean, I've been a teacher, I've been an insurance agent, I've been a photographer for 12 years. And I mean, I worked with Playboy, I was on stage with celebrities, like I did the damn thing. And
Yeah.
now I read cards and make spells, and I've created my own tarot cards, and I've got a book coming out in
You got a
October. I'm a
book.
published author. So life takes you on all these different adventures so you can experience all of them. I can't imagine if I'd come to this timeline and just been a daycare teacher for the rest of my life. Oh my God, how miserable would I be? Like, no offense to other daycare teachers, you're needed, but like, my soul wanted adventure. My soul wanted different things. My soul wanted to experience everything it could experience and still does. And I'm still feeding the shit out of it. Clearly, you see this belly?
Stop.
See, I'm feeding this damn soul good as shit, y'all. I'm out here having the best timeline of my life.
But okay, but let's talk about that because I feel like that's and me being like I'm so structured and my previous I always say like there's a before Carolina when I was with Andres before he died and then there's
Mm-hmm.
after Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before Carolina was such in a box and
Mm-hmm.
so like no, you get married, you have kids, you do and that's it. And it's like being the after Carolina now that I'm very much like and I'm grateful for my husband because I swear he gives me the adventures that I'm like, oh my God, I would have never done this if it wasn't for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's life is meant to be an adventure.
It is.
Like,
Of
so
all times. And that's also what happens in marriages is people get married and they leave the adventure out of it. The whole adventure to marriage and dating, that was an adventure, right? That was a journey. And then they get married and they're like, okay, we're set. And then the chase stops, the flirting stops, the adventure stops. And that's where people fuck up
yeah,
because it's supposed to never stop.
yeah,
The wedding, that's an event, that's a party.
that's a
The
party.
the marriage certificate, that's a piece of paper.
That's
Your relationship doesn't change from that,
yeah,
but people allow it to.
yeah.
And that's where they fuck up.
No, you're right. You're right. And again, I think just talking about like and even more so now because we have this revolution, right? Like no one can sit here and pretend that we don't have civil unrest. We do. And I'm sorry if anybody's listening and they're bothered by this, then I'm not the podcast for you. Like I'm
Honey, if
very
anyone listens to that and is bothered by that, they can lick my butthole. I don't give a
right. But
shit.
it's just one of
Okay?
it's like we can't ignore what's happening outside our homes and the
No,
things
we can't.
the people. And I think that's the other thing too that your TikTok has been so great for so many people who a
Because
lot
I
of us
say it like it is. I call a spade
do.
a spade.
You do. And you called me out in our meeting and I loved it because
I did. I
it's
did. I called you
true.
out a little bit. I mean, a little
It was
bit. A little
good
bit.
though. It was good because I needed it. And what you said, I was like, shit. I'm like, she's right. I was like, she's so right. But I've been so good on just being, not thinking that I can do more, be bigger.
Right.
But that takes sacrifice, strategy, and letting go of
Right. And
comfort.
letting go and letting it flow and just being in it for the right reasons. Not money, not fame, but actual enjoyment.
Yeah.
Actual enjoyment.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so true that we put ourselves in this box and society, and we're trained to learn to put ourselves in this box: wife, husband, kids,
Yeah.
picket fence, full-time job at a company, you're there forever. Like, they put us in this box so we would never realize our true potential, which is why dreamers and creatives are such a hindrance to them,
Yeah.
because we're so far outside of the box that we see truths that
Yep.
the people inside the box can't see.
Yeah. No,
Which is
you're
why liberals are such an issue for Republicans, because they spew the bullshit, and then their cult and their followers go, "Oh yeah, the bullshit." And then liberals and independent thinkers are over here like, that's just shit, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, they can throw some glitter on it, but shit is shit.
It's still there.
It's still, I
So
mean, you call it bullshit, it's still shit. It don't matter what cow it comes from, it's still shit.
so
Uh,
So, can you share to us, with us and the audience, about a little bit about your book, which is amazing?
Yeah.
But why? What was it about the book that you were like, okay, I want to get this out?
Good question. It's about to get juicy.
It's about to get juicy.
Okay. So I moved here in 2020 to escape a domestic violent relationship. It was very abusive, and my ex husband was in prison, and I was still married to him at the time. And I had a best friend come to me and say, and this was in the middle of COVID. Like COVID has shut down the world in March. We're having this conversation in like end of April, beginning of May.
Wow.
And she's like, I want you to move 2,000 miles away across the country to Arizona to help me con my sugar daddy. My sugar daddy is couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
Okay, couldn't stand him. Thought this guy was the most annoying guy in the world. Every time he tried to do something nice or sweet, it just gave her the fucking ick.
Yeah.
And he was Middle Eastern, and he had, some quirks about him. It wasn't an ugly guy, good looking guy,
Huh.
not her type. She
Oh.
she liked she liked the J. Cole's and
Oh.
the Michael B. Jordan
Yeah.
type.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's Middle Eastern. Like he looked like handsome Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's two very different people that she would date. So
Yeah.
it was normal for her to have sugar daddies or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one had like stuck the test of time, and he pretty much gave her an ultimatum. Either it's been 4 years now, we either gonna live together
Oh.
or you cut. And so she was like, well, I don't want to live in our town, and I don't want to move up north where he's from. So she loved Arizona. So she picked Arizona, and she asked me and my mother to come with her to make sure she didn't fuck it up because she hated him so bad. And she
Okay.
had a little bit of a temper. And I'm a Pisces. I'm good at manipulation. I'm good at making people believe things. So my job was to make him believe that she loved him. That was my job. The doting best friend who's so happy her best friend found love.
Yeah.
So this book is about what led up to that point.
Wow.
And this book is about how I ran into my ex and that relationship started, the type of person I was at that time, how I got roped into like 6 years of just toxic abuse. I mean, this man killed our dog. This man, saw other people and cheated on me. This man, I moved and didn't tell him where I lived, and he broke in my house, and I woke up to him in my bed. Like, this man was crazy. He was crazy obsessed with me, but I was not mentally in a place where I was seeing the shit for what it was.
Yeah.
And then my dumb ass married him. And then he went to prison. And when he went to prison, he was like, I'm gonna need you to sell my drugs now because my ex husband was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And it had always been keep me and his kids away from it. Keep me and his kids away from it. He was doing it to support us. It was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And then he went to prison. He was like, "Oh no, you got to sell it now." So overnight, I became a drug dealer.
Wow.
And there's just a lot of different shit in there, and trigger warning, there is some graphic descriptions of abuse and death and stuff, and then it gets to the point, like I said, how I even got to where I am now. My best friend at the time of 10 years had asked me to take this journey, and then I did. And then the book shows you what was on the other side of that. What was, as a poor girl from the country, what was it like living in a mansion with a millionaire and a best friend that's losing it? What is it like to find yourself? What is it like to leave a bad marriage behind and find your soulmate? Because I met my twin flame out here,
Yeah.
and I'm still happily married and with them. So it really is a book about what I went through, how it led to that choice and decision where I was able to just leave it all behind and take a chance with nothing,
Yeah.
with nothing.
Yeah.
I was below poverty at that point. And it even gets into how I got addicted to drugs for a short time, just trying to cope. And then how I came out here and turned it all the fuck around and found love and found happiness and found healing. And it stops there. So you don't get to the point where I find myself as a tarot reader, because there's a lot in between that. There's a 5 year spare in between that. Um, so you don't really get to see all the other side, but you get to see me get to a place of complete unhappiness and struggling for most of the book to a place where I finally had paradise of my own. I had a nice home and I was loved. And it's just kind of that moment where you sit down and for the first time, you can actually fucking breathe.
Yeah.
You're not holding your breath anymore. It doesn't even feel real because things in life are suddenly happy and peaceful and easy. And that's where the book kind of, I'm just going to stop right there so you can kind of see the progression. But the reason I wrote the book is because this whole time from the move and everything I've been through, even with my ex best friend and my ex husband, I never spoke my truth. I never got on Facebook and told my truth. I never wrote no long paragraph. I never got on TikTok and told everybody what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And and because my ex-husband is so abusive, he came home and immediately started contacting me. I went back home to get my stuff. He made sure that he found me and saw me and was just like a changed man. But within a few weeks was fuck me,
Yeah.
was talking shit about my brother dying, was talking shit about my best friend dying. And I was like, okay, so this is just a human being that's never going to change. And this is just who they are. But I still never spoke my truth.
Yeah.
I still never got online and defended myself. I still never got online and said, here's the receipts because, girl, I have
Oh,
receipts.
I bet. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know me. If you watch my content, I keep receipts. I got 20 years of receipts.
Yeah.
So, and then, everyone in my small town had no idea what happened between me and my ex-friend. And they're all like, either half of them still thinking everything's Gucci and the other half going, oh, well, I heard from her that you tried to take advantage of her and live off her and you were a bum and you tried to ruin her life. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't do nothing to this chick. I didn't do nothing. All I did was lose another friend to a drunk driver during that time and go through a grieving process where she could not be there for me. And I was finding myself because I was leaving a DV relationship, but I was still just kissing her ass and trying to do everything that she asked. I never did anything to this girl, but I still found myself getting hit from all these people about the stories that my ex-husband and this girl have told my small town because I don't speak up.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a book. And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell all the truths about her, the truths about him, the truths about me. And I changed the names, I changed locations. So the book is based on my life, but a lot of things have been changed.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to be able to tell my truth.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, everybody's like, well, what if she comes for you? And what if she tries to sue you for defamation? Or what if she gets on? I was like, please let her. Because not only do I have pictures, convos, text messages, emails, written lists that written in her handwriting,
Yeah.
okay, letters from the sugar daddy. I hope she does because I am queen of receipts and I will gladly release all of those receipts
Yeah.
because I'm in my petty era. Call me Gavin Newsom, baby, because I ain't fucking around.
I love
Okay.
it. So Tammy, you made me think about something that I remember like when I was in my super grief and very messy era. Um, what is it that you think why we become such givers even though we have nothing to give, right? Why is it
That's
that you
imprinted on our soul from previous lifetimes.
mm,
So a lot of the stuff that we naturally just is who we are,
yeah,
that is imprints from other lifetimes. So if you were immediately awake to Trump back in 2014, 2015, when all the election stuff
yeah,
started, that's because you had already encountered a dictator and a takeover a country at some point in your timeline. And you immediately recognized it right away. It was a soul memory. So while you don't have a physical memory of it, I mean, some people do, some people can remember their past lives.
yeah,
Those feelings come from your soul.
yeah.
So if you're naturally a giver, you're probably a healer. You probably lived, hell yeah,
I'm like, who's calling?
hell yeah, do
No,
cha cha cha.
sorry. So
The
so
universe said, confirm.
yeah, I was like, no. I'm like, I'm not doing that one. Um, wow. So yeah, I mean that I've heard so many stories about past lives. I've heard so many. I mean, even like how I
I
see.
met one of Beethoven's cousins the other day. That was really cool.
Stop it.
Yeah, I swear to God. It was like a distant cousin, like a second cousin, and they um they had been around Beethoven a lot in his younger years,
Yeah,
but not so much as an adult because, of course, back then travel and family and everything, and they lived a really great life. But Beethoven became famous for his music, and this person just played like independently in the home or taverns or whatever like that.
yeah,
Um, but it was funny because this was so long ago that they lived this life, and even now today they love classical music and they love to play it, but and that's not like their career or anything,
yeah,
but they just never knew where it came from because it didn't resonate with anything else in their timeline. It doesn't resonate with anything else in their likes or who they were. And I was just like, oh, well, that's because that type of music is actually imprinted on your soul. It made a big impact in another timeline, so
yeah.
you will continue to love that through every timeline.
And I also feel too like when people travel, right? If there's a certain place in the world that they go and visit and they're just like, wow, I feel at home, in Italy or
That's because they've been there before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So soul memory and our meat suit body memory are two very different things. Soul memory is based on feelings,
yeah,
and then muscle memory and mind memory, that's all based on the human body. So both exist.
yeah. Yeah. And I think again, I feel like there's been such a huge awakening, even like back that. So for example, right? I feel like people looked at me crazy because I'm very much into like I love being a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn
Yeah, my ex was a
sun.
Capricorn. I fucking hate y'all. No offense. Y'all
What grade?
motherfuckers get on my nerves with y'all materialistic asses. Always spicy for no damn
Wait,
reason.
wait, I got a Pisces moon though, so that
Okay, so
balances
that's what
me.
evens you out. That's the only reason we cool. That's the
Yeah,
only reason we cool. Okay, because otherwise, I'm gonna be talking some shit. Cause y'all Capricorn, woo!
I know.
Cap-
We can to some signs we can just be really, really intense and a lot too, right?
Well, I
Uh,
think it all depends on your healing journeys too, because an unhealed Capricorn is the worst, but a healed Capricorn can take you to new heights.
yeah, yeah,
So that's the difference. If you have an unhealed version of a Capricorn, you have someone who refuses to progress, a person who refuses to elevate, is stuck in that hate line, then yeah, they're pretty shitty. But then if you have a healed Capricorn that has used who has learned to use all of the attributes of that sign in a positive way,
yeah.
then those are the type of Capricorns you would want to keep around. But unhealed Capricorns, they the spawn of Satan, baby. Spawn of Satan. I stand 10 toes down on that shit. You can't convince me otherwise. I ain't never met, and I say this particularly to male Capricorns,
Yeah.
I ain't never met a male Capricorn I liked. Not one time. And I didn't even like my ex-husband. I tolerated him. So let's start
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But you know what? Because like I'm saying this because I feel like, gosh, okay, let's say 7 years ago, I know people would look at me weird when I would be like, oh, I'm a Capricorn, what sign are you? And they're like, no, no. And now, right, there's been this awakening, and
Mhm.
not even just with the astrology, but there's just this awakening now.
That's something that has to happen when in Capricorn's timeline where they have to be humbled.
Yes, yes, we
That's
do.
You have to be humbled, or else your ego gets so far out of hand it blurs the lines of reality.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can definitely, I can resonate with that so much. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I feel like now as a collective, right, as the masses have woken up and people are realizing, wait a minute, what's this gut feeling? What's this intuition? What's this discernment that I have? Like,
I just realized I kind of look like that dude on the History Channel talking about aliens right now. I'm just like over here with the crazy hair, and I was like, I look like that dude. That's just like the aliens are real, and they come from up here. There's hairs just everywhere. I'm sorry, that's my ADHD. I didn't want to forget that. I don't know how I could just looking at myself,
I love
but
it.
still,
I love it. But you know what I mean? I feel like because it's at least for me, I'm seeing like it's more of a welcome conversation.
yeah.
And right? Because like, come on, think about it. Like if I would have told anybody that, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I went to go have a reading or whatever, they'd have been like, "Oh my God, bruja. Oh my God, crazy."
Ah,
Oh
yeah,
my,
I get
you know
that
what
a
I
lot.
mean? Like, it would have been like all of this, like, just stereotypes and criticism. But again, you're right. Like, as a society, we criticize, things that we don't know 100% of, or it's not the social norm that they've constructed to put us in a box, right? Because
Yep.
if you become the thinker outside the box, then you're dangerous. You're dangerous.
Well, I've always been dangerous in that aspect. I got kicked out of catechism class in Catholic school because I was asking out of the box questions, and when they couldn't answer them, I was calling them out on their stupidity. So they called my grandparents, and they were like, "I don't think we can have her back because she's aggressive, and she just needs to understand you have to rely on faith." And my grandparents were like, "Cool, we won't be back either." Click, and we never went back to the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And that's having grandparents who were Catholic Republicans their whole lives and
Yeah.
having a grandchild that broke the fucking mold on everything.
Wow.
So when I say I broke the mold on everything, they weren't ready for me. But
So
they
Tammy,
left this timeline better people, and I can contest to that.
so Tammy, you were really close to your grandparents?
Yeah, they raised me. I was with my grandparents. I went to them when I was 2. And I would visit my biological parents on alternate weekends. I had a rough childhood. Not with them, obviously, but outside of them. But they were great. They adopted me in my teenage years, so I'd always called them mom and dad, and it was my grandparents and my great grandmother in the house.
Yeah.
So it was really wonderful to live in a multi generational household, especially healing from abuse and trying to find my way as a survivor. And now I will say that my grandmother was a narcissistic Gemini
Mm,
with bipolar. So some things were hit and miss with her because she was unhealed as well. I mean, she was pregnant and married by 14. It was a hard life for her as well.
oh wow.
And so there was a lot of healing that happened because of me, and I lived through a lot of trauma, especially with her. My grandfather, though, man, that man, you couldn't torture me hard enough to say a bad word about that man. And I was definitely a daddy's girl in that sense because I could tell him anything.
Yeah.
And even though I had a bad experience being molested by my stepfather, my grandfather was not anyone I ever feared or had a reaction when he would like kiss me or hold me. It was because of him I didn't hate men.
Wow.
Because of him I didn't take what my stepfather did as an all over experience, but more of an isolated experience because I saw the worst in humanity through my stepfather, but I saw the best in humanity through my grandfather. I was right in the middle. And then of course after I told that man protected me at all costs, and
Wow.
when he had massive strokes, I moved back home and I helped take care of him until his passing. But um still to this day I'm so glad that I got the experience of being raised by them and in that household with my great grandmother. That's whose initials are tattooed right here. Because it really helped me be the kind and loving person that I am. The same way they took me in, I've taken others in my life so many times and helped them get to a better place. Um, I think that their kindness and their affection and their love healed the parts of me that I wasn't even ready to work on. So it made healing later on a lot easier because outside of the trauma, outside of the abuse, I always had a safe space.
Yeah.
And when that house got sold and my grandfather got put in a home and all of it, like probably 28, 29, maybe 30, that's happened, my safe place got ripped away. And that's where I spiraled into the relationship and ended up marrying my ex. Had that never happened,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have, but everything happens for a reason, and it set a crash course for my life to take me where I needed to be. Because had I been in a comfortable space, had I still had that safe space, I probably would not have ever moved to Arizona.
Mm. And then we wouldn't have Tammy on TikTok. That's what
And
we
you
would
wouldn't have me on TikTok. So I believe in the journey, even as painful as it is. Man, I mean, my journey itself it hasn't been as painful as others, but damn, it has been. Even that book is like a 5% snippet. I've lived 1,000 lives. It's insane. But if I had to go back and do it all over again, I would. If
Mm,
it led me to the person that I'm with and the life that I have now, I'd relive it 1,000 times to get here.
yeah.
I'd react a little bit differently with the knowledge that I have. I'd probably actually stab him, but that might deter my journey. Maybe not.
No, no, you know what? But that's huge, Tammy. That's huge to be able to say something like that, knowing the amount of pain and
Oh man, the pain, the drugs, the abuse, the put downs, even my health being as poor as it was, but just all the trauma. I mean, that man aged me 10 years, and it wasn't until I got away from it that I even realized I was even in trauma. That's how deep I was, that I didn't even realize I was in trauma or that it was a DV relationship. Like, I had to get therapy to even piece the two and two together because I never got hit.
wow.
Yeah, like it just never. It just, I mean, I knew it was bad and I knew he was a dick, but like it never, because I had been really abused when I was a kid, because I had been really violated, and this wasn't that, it never correlated in my brain that it was abuse.
Wow. I
And
know.
it's even more hilarious because my ex goes around telling everybody I'm a narcissist. And I'm like, that is hilariously funny. Hilariously funny.
You're like the narcissist saying about another really guy. Okay.
I just know it eats him up. And this is the only like pleasurable part about it is because I know him, especially as a Capricorn. It eats him up that I'm not doing bad. I
Yes.
know when he checks on me and sees me doing good online and just thriving and videos of me living my best life and all of the comments from you guys
Yeah.
that are in my comments talking about how much you love me. When I tell you this shit bothers him on such a level, and I'm loving it for that. I'm loving it for him because like he still hates women. Still
Wow.
thinks all women are cheaters and need to be the best women to have a man like him. Keep in mind he lives in a camper on his mom's property. Like he's not winning any medals of man of the year,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Like he probably still works at a car wash. Like he's not shit to be 41. But
Wow.
he definitely thinks women have to be a certain type of caliber to
Yeah.
be with him. And like to be honest, he never deserved me or my experience, and it could have changed him in positive ways, but it didn't. And the fact that he got to taste greatness and now will eat trash for the rest of his life is like chef's fucking kiss, baby.
Yeah.
Because I know who I am
Yeah.
and I know how powerful I am, and what I don't bring the table, baby. I bring the whole fucking vibe. I bring the energy. I bring the electricity. I keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he'll never have someone like me again, I love that for him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that for him.
And you're right. And I think it's so weird when it's like the check-ins, right? Like when the past comes to check in on you, you're just like, dude,
Mhm.
like why?
Yeah.
Like it's what's
Right.
done is done.
And then because retrograde loves to bring an ex
Oh
out.
my God, right. I'm so glad we're done with it now.
Retrograde whoop my ass, okay? Like batteries dying in a car, shit. I'm just like,
No.
listen, this energy, like I'm protected to a certain point, but even I
Yeah.
was just dropping shit, breaking shit, forgetting shit. It was just chaos. But retrogrades do tend to bring past friends or past lovers back around. And
Wow.
one did message me and pretty much was like he's still stuck in our shitty ass small town, and that he wishes he could leave and he just want to get out of there so bad. And I'm just like, oh, that sucks, man. I'm out here living my best life. Leaving that town was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's like he was fishing for an invitation. It's like he was fishing for a, well, come out here, like what, because I don't post anything. I don't even have Facebook anymore. I just have the messenger.
Yeah.
That's that way I can FaceTime my sister.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason Meta ain't got completely wiped off my phone is because my sister's having her first baby.
Yeah.
They don't have iPhones. That's the only way I can really talk
Stay
to them.
connected. Yeah.
So I was just like, my bad, homie. Do you? Bye.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. First of all, I know a lot of people back home ain't the happiest, and my small town is just going into the fucking gutter. Like I talked to Allie about this, and like the homeless population, just everything. It didn't used to be that way, and now they're like sleeping under underpasses and shit. And we're talking about a very small town. Okay.
What would you
And so, and then like the drugs and crime, like everything has gotten. But of course, that's going to happen when you have a Republican MAGA sheriff in charge of the county,
Yeah.
okay, who helps run the drug trade. So that
Hmm.
shit's going to go to hell.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, needless to say, but yeah, I take pride in the fact that I make my exes miserable by my success. That's who am I, Beyonce?
Hey, but you said it. You said it. You and that's what I love about your TikToks. You own it, and you said, "Hey, I'm not trying to sit here and pretend like I'm not in my petty era. This is where
No,
I'm.
no, Patty.
This is where I'm at right now. This is
No,
what it
listen, I am kind as fuck. I am loving. I
is."
will feed somebody, house somebody, take care of them when they're sick. I will drop my shit to open up or help an elderly person in a parking lot. I don't give a fuck. They will come first. I am one of the most genuine, loving, and loyal human beings that walk this planet. But I am also a Pisces with an Aries stellium. And if you fucking cross the
Oh,
line with me, the Aries stellium takes over and you on your own, motherfucker, because I ain't got no control at that point. You just don't have to get burned. Okay?
I love it.
Because I'm fucking petty. And to be honest, that book was probably the least petty thing I could do.
Wow. No,
Because I could have put all them receipts. I could have printed them receipts. I could have mailed them to the sugar daddy.
yeah,
I could have let everybody know who got snitched on by my ex. I could have been petty.
yeah.
And I wasn't because I was working on me. And that shit wasn't important at the time. I was working on me, my soul, my healing, my changing, enjoying my journey in this peaceful and happy direction. But now that I'm happy and peaceful, now I could be petty again.
And
And I'm in the perfect era for it. Like through this regime, through
yeah,
all of this shit that's going on right now is that I even got like a loud phone, like a megaphone.
huh?
So if I roll up on ice, I can just start saying shit like, "Your wife says your penis is small." Like just to be a petty, annoying bitch. Like I know I can't do a lot of shit out here to help,
Yeah,
but I am going to identify as a fucking menace. That's that for the next 3 years. I'm identifying as a problem.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. So, so Tammy, you tell me everything that you've gone through. What's one thing that you can share with the audience that was truly something that just like changed you overnight? What was the like aha moment that you had?
Hmm. That's hard because it wasn't one moment. It was a series of moments. And I think when I moved out here, even though I was in the midst of shit, because living in that mansion was fucking horrible.
Wow.
Okay. And it made me realize, and I guess this would be an aha moment, like watching my ex best friend and what she was willing to do to have that life, to have that bank account,
Mm,
and to marry someone she did not love and not even like. And just how money and that control of it like changed her whole personality, well at least to me.
yeah.
And I watched how the rich people around them, and especially him, how they talk and how they look at things. And I'm sleeping in this mansion in a room that has like half of a roof, so I don't have any privacy.
Yeah.
um and I'm laying there and I'm looking up at, like, I wake up one morning and I'm looking up like at the ceiling and I can hear them in the kitchen slamming shit around, because who cares if I don't have a roof to sleep? Fuck me, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember looking up going, yeah, I don't want to be rich. I don't want this. I don't want the mansion. I don't want the sugar daddy. I don't want to have to sell my soul to get ahead. I don't want this. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to what my life was before. I don't want to go back to my small town. But I definitely don't want the same thing that my best friend wants. I want to feel free. I want to feel like I can breathe. I want to feel like myself again. I I know it's not that I knew what I wanted, but
Yeah.
for the first time, I knew exactly what I didn't want.
Mm. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And that was a good step for me. That was a good step for me to say, I'm going to start putting me first at all costs. And so that's when I started leaving the house more, having a life outside of that mansion, which ultimately destroyed our friendship because I'm out living life and she's trapped in the mansion with sugar daddy.
Yeah.
And then it was just, I started to notice similarities after that realization that my best friend treated me exactly the same as my ex-husband, and I never noticed it before.
Wow. Really?
Like with the put downs and the dragging me down to a level or telling me I'm not good enough or telling me I'm not a good friend because I don't pay attention enough or I look at my phone or she has to repeat herself. What I didn't know at that time that she was putting me down for all these things was A, I was deaf. I'm 75% deaf in this ear and 65 in this ear.
Okay.
Did not know it at the time. Knew it was hard to hear, but didn't know the severity.
Yeah.
And I also had undiagnosed ADHD, which I had feelings for, that I had, but my personality is really different from hers. And
Yeah.
they put her on Adderall, and she didn't have any signs of having ADHD. And they made her like she was doing cocaine. So like I knew that she tricked the people into giving her meds, and she loved Adderall. Like she'd buy them off the street back home.
Yeah.
Um, and it just never really dawned on me that I had ADHD because anytime I'd taken Adderall, it did nothing to me. Like, it didn't make me hype. It didn't make me want to clean. It didn't make me
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
ready to go. It made me want to like lay down and take a fucking nap. And again, didn't piece two and two together there.
Yeah.
So the reason I was such a shitty friend wasn't even my fucking fault. And it did, but again, that was another realization later on after the friendship ended that um she didn't like the real me. She could never be friends with me now.
Yeah.
I was never gonna add up to what she needed. And at the end of the day, it never even dawned on her that something might be wrong, that these things are happening. So there wasn't one big realization. It wasn't like I just woke up one day and everything clicked and made sense.
Yeah.
But it was key moments that awoke in my soul that said, yeah, I don't want this. I'm going this way. Or yeah, I'm not okay with being this way anymore. Or that's a shitty friend, and not allowing myself to talk myself out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that set the course for you to be like, I this isn't acceptable anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It set the course that I did not want to live for money. I wanted to be able to pay my bills and obviously get into a better place financially because I've lived poor most of my life.
Yeah.
But to like really kind of find my way and find my own way because my ex had stacks of money and I was still helping pay half the bills. So I always ended up broke, but he had, 4 or 5 grand in his pocket at any
Yeah.
time. I didn't have none of that money.
Yeah.
Um, and then her, he funded her business. He funded her stores. He funded her rent. He funded her bills. He
Yeah.
funded her car.
Yeah.
Everything that she's built out here has been on his bank account. And I knew that I wanted to build from my own. I didn't want anybody else to fund it.
Yeah.
And I did. So the one thing that I can say is I didn't use anybody else's help to get where I am. I started that TikTok on my own. I put my gift out there on my own. My best friend, she's the one that helped me build it into like an actual business that was thriving and successful. Without her, I couldn't do it. But again, there was another realization
Yeah.
because it wasn't my fault that she wasn't successful back then. It wasn't my fault that I was dropping the ball. It wasn't my fault that I wasn't a good enough friend. It was her because I'm running a business with a friend now and we are fucking thriving, baby.
Wow. Yeah. It because the when it's the right people that are around you and the right
But
environment,
again, I
mindset.
did not recognize her as a bad friend. We had survived a lot of shit together. We had been on at ground zero together.
Yeah.
I mean, I had pulled her out of shitty situations. She had pulled me out of situations. This was someone I considered family. This was someone I considered blood.
Yeah.
So when everything got destroyed in 90 days, I had to take a real hard look at why I felt that way. And look at about the people that I left behind that never treated me that way.
Yeah.
And the catalyst that changed our friendship wasn't how she treated me, because I was a people pleaser. So I was okay with kissing her ass any way she needed. What changed everything, that real defining moment you're talking about, what changed everything for me, now it's coming to me, is we were in California buying clothes for her business, and the trip was shitty. It's in the book. You can read about it in the book.
Okay.
But on the way home, I get a phone call from my other friend, because I had two of my best friends living in me and my ex's house, taking care of the dogs and the lights and the maintenance, so I could make this move for my ex best friend. And I get the call from one of them that the other one had just been killed in a car wreck by a drunk driver. That drunk driver hit them and they died instantly.
Oh, I'm so
I got that while driving home. And after that, because the person that died, when I say they were top tier best friend, they were older than me. Her name was Penny. Um, Ride or die. We'd never once had an argument in all the years we'd been friends. We'd always been there for each other. It She was the epitome of a good human being that would give you the shirt off her back and walk around topless if it meant you had more.
yeah.
She was a reflection of the type of love I have and gave, and I
Mm,
lost her. She was the person that was keeping me sane through the whole experience out there in the mansion, and she was gone.
yeah.
I had just talked to her while we were in the parking lot of the clothing place. I said, I'll call you when I get home and get settled. And we said, I love yous. And she was gone 4 hours later.
Ah, Tammy, I'm so
So when you look at a friend of that caliber versus the one you're trying to do everything with and con sugar daddies and make her life better, and you lost the one person who actually made life better,
yeah.
I couldn't look at her the same.
Yeah.
And the way she treated me after that, I couldn't. She even went to my mother and said, how long is she going to grieve for? I have shit to do and a business to run.
Oh my God.
It had been a week.
It could have been a year. It doesn't like you can't.
But again, these were these eye opening moments where I was like, that's not a friend.
No. No.
That's not how I would have treated someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, we're very two different people up until that point, and we had bumped heads before.
Yeah.
Because again, she can't stand any kind of criticism, opinions, and she definitely never could handle my bluntness or how I think or feel. So honestly, our whole friendship, she really got a watered down version of me because she didn't like the real version. And it took me a long time to realize that.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but with that said, I'm glad that she found whatever happiness that she has in life. I'm glad that she's living her rich girl dreams.
Good.
And because I'm out here living mine,
Mhm.
just in two different ways.
Two different ways. Yeah. And it and
Yeah.
it's okay to no longer be friends. It's okay to go on different.
No, it's absolutely okay. I mean, it's funny because I talked to a mutual of ours not too long ago, and she said that the last time that they had spoken, hung out, that this person, my ex friend, had made it a point to say, "Well, if you're friends with Tammy, you can't be friends with me because that's my arch enemy." And I'm like, I'm her arch enemy. Well, shit, she got it easy because I'm not even ruthless. Like, I'm not even bothering you. You ain't even my enemy. Usually, arch enemies are two people against each other. You ain't my arch enemy, bitch.
Yeah.
I could care less,
Yeah.
to
You're like,
be honest. I saw her and waved, and she lost her fucking shit one time, and I just left the fucking festival because I was like, listen,
yeah.
clearly, she got some issues with me. So, but that's a her thing. That's not a me thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and here's the thing: if we ever were put in the same room, if we were ever face to face with each other, the things that I could say that are facts would crush her.
Yeah.
And I don't want to crush her. I
Yeah.
don't want to hurt her. I have no reason to hurt this person. Yeah, they did me shitty. Yeah, it ended shitty. Oh well, that's life.
Yeah.
She went on to her best version. I went on to my best version. I don't understand what there's to be mad about.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, right? So, if someone is truly in their peace, they found their happiness, and
That's, you just don't hate people no
you don't
more.
go
I
on
mean, I hate
your time.
Trump, but again, it's not bothering me in a sense where I'm losing my shit. I mean, I could be outspoken about it. I could be outspoken about it and be like, I definitely don't like the human being and type of soul that she is.
Yeah.
I definitely don't like the type of person she became.
Yeah.
But I don't hate her. I don't wish harm on her. I'm allowed to not like people.
Yes. Yeah.
No, and I mean, if anything, I have to thank her. I really do. I have to thank her, but because of her, I am here.
Yeah.
Because of her, I found my twin flame. Because of her, I found myself. Not because she personally did anything other than bringing me out here,
Yes.
but it still was a step that led me to the best version of my life. So, no matter what I don't like about the type of person she is, I'm always going to have love for her. And I'm always going to uh, uh, give flowers where flowers are due. And she brought me here, and it changed my life. I can never take those flowers away from her, because no matter, it doesn't even matter if she shitted on me the whole time. None of that matters,
Yeah.
because that one step, that one choice of hers, is what drastically changed the direction of my life. What happened had nothing to do with her. Everything I've built is on me. Everything I have is on me.
Yeah.
But the move itself, her bringing me out here, is ultimately what changed the path I took.
Yeah.
At my crossroads, she gave me more options. So for that, I'll always be thankful for that. That's not something I'll ever take away from her either. Because no matter if we like each other or not, that one decision gave me everything I could possibly want and more. And
Yeah.
it took me away from all the bad, and it helped me heal relationships within my family. It put me in a place where I was able to move my grandmother out here and take care of her through terminal cancer, like financially and everything. So I can't hate her. There's not a part of me that can hate her. I forgave her a long time ago. I think it's funny she hates me, but
Yeah.
again, I used my voice in the book.
And so
There's nothing to talk about.
your book comes out October, right? So October
Yes,
next
so I'm
year.
not sure the exact date in October because we're in production now. Everything's
Yeah.
getting printed. I just finalized the design
Nice.
of like fonts in the back and the front and all that. So it's in production right now. I know September I will have a pre-sale option where you can go on there and pre-sale the book,
Okay.
and go ahead and get your name in there. And then in October, during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is perfect,
Perfect.
it will launch, and I know it'll be on Amazon, and it'll be in bookstores, and I'll probably here in Mesa and Phoenix, Arizona, do some local
Yeah.
bookstore signings and stuff for anybody who may be around. I don't expect anybody to show up, but if you
Hey,
do,
no, no,
I
no, no.
might tell you about yourself. You're not coming to just see an author. You're gonna meet a psychic, baby. I might shake your hand and be like, "Bitch, you about to be pregnant." You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what could come out my mouth. But I
Never.
think I think it'll be fun, and I hope people. Here's the thing: I don't want. I don't expect to get rich off the book. I don't expect to become a best-selling author. I don't expect to be turned into a series, although it would be a good one. It would be
Mhm.
fucking fantastic. Um, Honestly, if this book gets published and one girl, one woman, one man
Yeah.
who is stuck in that type of relationship and can't see it the way I couldn't see it, if it helps them leave, if it helps them take the leap, if it helps them take the opportunity to go like I had the opportunity, if it gives them that hope and that knowledge that grass can be greener on the other side,
Yeah.
then it was worth it. Just one person. All I need is it for to help one person, then it was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well,
That's it.
Tammy, thank you so much for your time. Look, I'm somebody who I completely understand how expensive time is, and I know how busy you are. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for making the time
What's the
to be
freaking
on
movie, man?
here.
It was a pleasure. I'm glad that we were able to do this. I have no problem being guests on podcasts. I love to talk, obviously. You
Yeah,
watch my content. I'm a talker. But even more, it's a different platform to get to know me and to talk about some real shit.
yeah.
To really just pull out the stops and say this is what it is and this is how it is and here's how we can move forward. But thank you for giving me an opportunity not only to talk about my book coming out, but kind of what I've been through that led up to this point. And I've never really had a platform to have a voice on that, to share my story or to share some of the things I went through. So I appreciate the platform to be able to do that today.
Oh, no, thank you, thank you. Again, I feel very blessed and grateful to have met you, to have had a reading by you. Again, when I tell you, when my girlfriend reached out to me and was like, "Caro, you need to follow this girl. I just found her on TikTok," and I'm like, and usually she knows me where I'm like, Selenia, I'm like, girl, you know.
I'm good.
And then,
Thanks anyway, though.
and she was like, "No, you have to see your video." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she sent me one of your videos, and I just laughed so hard because of just what you were saying. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so my vibe, my energy."
Oh
And
yeah, and I just be saying off the wall shit. It
you were
cracks
just
people up.
honest. You know what I mean? You were just honest. And I think that's the thing that I continue to want to have the conversation for everybody is that social media is fake. No one has it together. We are all still
Oh,
figuring
we're all a
if
mess.
that's
We're all a
we're
fucking mess.
all a mess.
Yeah,
We're all trying
all of
to
us.
figure it out.
I'm a mess too.
But I'm gonna tag your Instagram, your TikTok, your everything on here so everybody can have it as well. So everybody, you guys will be able to have her
Yep.
contact. And please look out for her book. But again, Tammy, thank you so much.
Very, very welcome.
I cannot wait to hear about all the reviews and how great it's gonna go because again, anything that you've done so far, you've manifested and you've created so much abundance. But you're right, that was all you. That was all your hard work.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Again, always got players in the midst to help us get where we need to get. But the fact that I know that I did this blood, sweat, and tears on my own and have been able to meet everyone like you, everyone in my comments, everyone on TikTok, and really connect with souls the way that I have. I mean, I've saved people's lives. That's
Yeah,
huge to me.
yeah.
That I gave advice and readings that allowed people to go get the medical care that they needed before it was too late. That escaped certain places before it was too late. That's something I carry with me
Yeah.
because it means something to do what I do. It's not money. It's
It,
not being on TikTok and people loving me. It is the fact that I know there was so many points in life where I wish I'd had direction like that, that I wish I had someone to talk to, that I wish I had a spiritual connection to someone, and I just wanted to be that for everyone else.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
No.
but yeah, so I hope we do this again. You
Yes,
have been
for
freaking
sure.
awesome, a rock star.
We will check in next year to see how amazing things have changed. And again,
Perfect.
Tammy, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you.
So very welcome. Bye.